Okay, with our hills cut and carved the way we like them, we want to go ahead now and tidy up the edges to make sure that they're all straight and level at a 90-degree angle with the table edges. So I'm going to use this homemade edge cutter. It's made out of 1/2" MDF, same material as the 1/4" MDF that we put on the base of the table, and it has a 2" gap here, and it's almost 2 feet long, about 22 inches. Has a bigger piece on the bottom, which is just going to allow me to set the foam on it. Smaller part at the top is just the guide, and then we have the 2 side pieces, and it's being held together with the liquid nails. Now you can put additional nails or screws on the outside if you feel that necessary. The liquid nails is plenty though for all that we're doing. It's not like it's going to be holding up a TV or anything. We're just using the edge as a guide. So what I'm going to do is put the foam in. And I'm going to get enough around the edge so that I'm going to get a straight cut. Now if I wanted to be real meticulous about it, if I already had my layout set and I needed this piece to be at a certain angle on the table, then you can always measure this out and draw a line and then butt the line up with the table. But it's not necessary for this because it's just going to sit on the table edge. So now we take foam cutter. I may have to move this back just a little bit. And I'm going to bring this to the edge, actually over it just a little bit. See if we're still in. Okay. And now all I'm going to do is run down the edge using the wire to cut the edge of the foam off, and I'm using the top and the bottom piece as a guide to keep this straight all the way down. Look how fun! And there we go. Straight edge. It's nice and flush. And we're not focusing because this thing sucks. Okay. Oop, looks like we've got a little bit of a piece sticking out right there. So we'll just go back and knock that off. And that's it. We have a straight edge. It's at a 90-degree angle to the table, so it will sit flush with the table edge. Now that we have a straight edge, I will go ahead and hit the other piece that this one is going to sit on top of, and we'll be ready to glue it together. Before I actually do any of the gluing, I'm going to hit the high points of some of the readily available glues and give you pros and cons of each. A couple of them have really no cons except for price, and a few of them have plenty of cons. So I'll hit that next. I'm going to cover 4 different types of glue. These are probably the most readily available. We have tacky glue, Pro Bond wood glue, your basic PVA white Elmer's school glue, and styro glue. So I set up a little demonstration here on the toughness of each of the glues, and I have each of the different pieces out here in front of the glue that I use to glue them together. So I'm going to pull them apart and kind of give you an idea of how strong they are, how good the bond is once it's actually dry. And I've let these dry for 24 hours to give you an idea. So this is the tacky glue, and I'm going to try and pull it apart here. Wow, yeah, it's a very good bond. You can see how the foam itself actually pulled apart. I don't know if you can see that or not, but how it actually ripped the foam in order to get this apart. This is by far the toughest glue that I've seen to this point, and it has a really nice tack to it. Whenever you put it down, it won't run or drip, and it adheres almost immediately, so it's fantastic for gluing multiple pieces together. And then we have the Pro Bond wood glue. Yep, that one's in there pretty good too. This is probably the second best, and there's not a lot of difference between the Pro Bond and the tacky glue as far as strength goes. You can see that it is still a little bit wet on the inside. Sorry about that, had some technical difficulty. You can see that it's a little wet on the inside still. It's hard for the glue to actually dry on the inside because there's no air getting to it. So once the seal forms around the outside edge, the glue on the inside will take a long time to dry. And we'll go to the Elmer's school glue, and you can pull that apart pretty much with very little effort, and you can see that it is still wet on the inside. And last but not least, the styro glue, which is supposed to be specifically made for foam products. I'm just going to use 2 fingers here. Yeah, it's specifically made for styrofoam, and it sucks. Do not waste your money on styro specific glue. Just a complete waste of money. So from best to worst, we have the tacky glue and the Pro Bond, which are almost identical. The only reason that I like the tacky glue better is it actually dries faster. Maybe 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. This is rock solid and good to go. This one usually takes 4 or 5 hours, and of course your climate conditions have an effect on that. So really love both of those. Elmer's school glue is extremely cheap. I think this bottle was 50 cents, and it will last forever. But you know, your bond is not going to be as good as it is with these two. And this crap here, as you can see, I have an entire tube that I think I've only used twice. Once on a project that I basically threw out because it was crap. And I would throw this out, actually. I'll probably throw this out after the video just because, yeah, it sucks. So there we have it. There are the 4 glues that you can use from best to worst. Just pretend this one doesn't exist and choose from these 3.